cartoon character, and we're going to turn this cartoon character into the wackiest version of this character that I promise any of you have seen. Now, if you know who this character is before I'm done, feel free to just shout it out.
SpongeBob? SpongeBob. SpongeBob.
I've tried and experimented with other characters, and we've done Patrick, some characters from Adventure Time, but it's SpongeBob hits so often, and the way that he immediately kind of gets that smile going.
So I need suggestions from you guys of what I can add to SpongeBob. Eye patch, vampire teeth, unicorn horn. What should we add, Luke? One thing.
Big bushy eyebrows.
Big bushy eyebrows. Yes.
Pirate eye patch?
So like a mustache or just like hair coming off of his nose?
A hat with wings and
Sunglasses. What kind of sunglasses? Round? Okay, last ideas.
I mean, I grew up in the SpongeBob era, so he's definitely one of my favorites, especially in the way that he has, him being a sponge, he can get into all these, I use the word wacky all the time, so wacky shapes, wacky little
He
moments.
says, I'm ready, I'm ready. Unicorn horn hat, nose rings, skull tattoo. Is he dripped out or what? Belly button time. Like a monocle? Comb over, 10-gallon hat, you know what those are? Roasted a marshmallow, giant mustache. Those tall Texas hats. Hats as big as the Texas sky. Okay, USA eyes. I got the first thing done. Let's go. 2 more things to add. 3 more things. Here we go. Like vampire teeth?
Like shark teeth.
Shark teeth. Clown shoes?
Yeah.
Clown shoes. What else? What else? What else? There we go. Texas hat. That way I don't have to do the accent. No one was liking it. Mohawk time. Nose ring. There we go. Love it. Plankton glasses. Now that is original and wacky. I've never heard that before.
It's always interesting to see what are the favorite cartoons or the favorite comics, but I think SpongeBob is the universal favorite. I just don't see it being topped.
So I want to see the wackiest SpongeBob's you can draw. I'm not ready. SpongeBob round pants, nicely done. And I love the boogers out of the nose. Gun arms, a Cyclops eye. It is SpongeBob Ross doing a little painting. Mewing Bob. What the heck? That looks like it's coming to get you, Bob. That is a terrifying SpongeBob and those hands.
And he just leads himself to being, you know, emo SpongeBob.
Or a sponge buff Bob, or a SpongeBob Ross.
Nose ring SpongeBob, biker SpongeBob. So he leads himself into being developed into a variety of characters. So, and it's always, in fact, I've been wondering when I'm gonna get bored of drawing him. Like I've drawn hundreds of times. So it's curious when I'm gonna like force myself to change who I'm drawing, and I haven't hit that moment yet. Maybe it's because of SpongeBob or the reaction that he gets, but I haven't hit that moment. So I keep on playing and drawing for at least until the end of the summer. We'll see what happens with the next season.
So we have Baddie Slay Abomination Queen up here.
Yes!
Okay, but can we wave goodbye to him? We gotta say goodbye.
No!
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
I got it up there. I got it up there.
Goodbye, Abomination.
We got it done.
It's one of those things with like this whole experience with getting the idea to do the workshops. Like if you would have told me a year ago even, I would have been like, why would, you know, I wouldn't have believed you. It wouldn't have been like a real idea.
Hello. Alright, so you taking over to Hampshire?
Extra help setting up, or I think we're good actually. Actually, yeah, this is the third time today.
You guys have been all over the place.
Today we're at Franklin Grove, and we drove all the way here. That was a drive. So it's been a lot of fun so far, and then we're on our way to Creston after this.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
after.
So then that's gonna be another little journey, but it's gonna be fun.
Really, like a lot of our friendship has just been like someone approaching someone else with ideas. So it's like there was a while we were like did like a band where it's like he would play guitar and I would sing. There, I mean, we did painting for a while, we did writing for a while, and eventually we decided that we wanted to do comics because. So we made our first comic, which we did all on Microsoft Paint, and then decided we had to go to Photoshop. We made a bunch of comics in Photoshop, and then as part of kind of trying to figure out how we wanted to promote them, we had a library reached out to us saying that, oh, we really want to do like a comic book workshop. And so that turned into doing some workshops for Free Comic Book Day last year. And so then realizing that there was really like a demand for this, there were like a lot of libraries that were very interested in workshops, art workshops, working with kids, working with like creativity in that way.
All right, well, my name is Chet. I'm the co-creator of Do Art Productions, and our speaker today is going to be telling you guys a little bit about comics, a little bit about drawing, and a little bit about creativity. So here he is, Jerry Moffitt.
It would be easy if I did this, right? We'd all know what it is.
Dastardly, wow. Anybody in the back? What do you guys see? A sheriff's badge.
So the emotion is SpongeBob?
Yeah? So the emotion is I'm ready. Let me see some sloths. Let me lift them up.
Let me see yours. Let me see yours.
Ah, killing it, and you got the eye on there, right? I just walked around. Everyone's doing really well. But the key is to just kind of get your hand, loosen it up, and get some draw eyes.
What kind of emotion? Did he look happy?
Can I get another pose? I'm gonna get some water here.
Alright.
Just get your cool on.
So did we decide what pose I was gonna do?
Flying, right? A fish, it could be a goldfish. What animal is here?
Flamingo.
Flamingo it is. Now we're gonna dive into trying to make this comic. Oh, now I see. Oh, wow.
Meta. And it came into real life.
And they sometimes have T-Rexes, right? Whoa,
That's a very good one. You just made a whole comic right there with that, didn't you? Got it, Julian? Mm-hmm. All right, let's see you do it. Let's go as fast as possible. Because my arm, my leg does not last forever. Whew. That was a long. Yeah, that was a fun. That was a blast, especially when you get so much energy like that.
Yeah.
You get the variety. Now you're just kind of just bouncing around from ideas. Like, yeah, maybe not that one, but that one. Yeah, exactly. Because it's good to have too many ideas.
Oh,
Because sometimes you come up and I am pulling nails. It's like, come on, just say anything. Yeah, so it's good when you have sloth, snake, unicorn, and all of them coming up. I feel like I initially wanted to do colleges. Because I feel like that, at the time I thought that would be easier and more digestible for my already art form. And then we started doing kids, like doing the workshops for the kids at the libraries, and I started realizing just how fun that was. And they're so creative. They put their guard down and they can be confident in their creations, and you can see this variety, which is hard to get with adults. Because it's hard to get adults to tap into their imagination and kind of let themselves loose.
Yeah, you get to take everything that you want to take. Besides, the stuff that's mine. You can't take advantage.
That, this, or this. And I don't mean to sound that cheesy, but in a lot of... I know this is always... I mean, maybe not, but I can see it being like a thing that older... once you get to a certain age, you're always like, if I had that type of person when I was my age growing up, wow, the different life that I would have, if there was only someone like me now telling me at 20 that, this, or that.
Mario referencing, I love it. Gotta get the hat on there. Or you can put some onomatopoeia in there.
Usually erase your SpongeBob.
Yeah, now I've been moving it since I've been trying to do the dual whiteboards, because it kind of gives twice as many participants, so we can do two people drawing as well as two people posing. So I've been basically waiting to save it to the next workshop to kind of erase and get them fully clean, because sometimes to give the people who come in a little early, that way they can kind of give a little bit of a peek preview of what's going to happen. Unfortunately today we got the stairs, so so I'm gonna get everything out of the car with the stairs. Usually we got the nice wagon, but
Yeah, see what you create, hopefully you create.
learn that the whiteboards are my babies. So everybody helping me move. It's like, what are you doing? Doing night. Whiteboard eraser. Another joy. Like I did not think that whiteboard related accoutrements and whiteboard stuff would ever bring me so much joy. But it has become such a crucial moment in my life. And when I began, I did not have this. So when I would get it, I wouldn't let anybody else carry it. Like Chet wasn't allowed to carry it. My mom wasn't allowed to break it down even. Like no one's allowed to touch it. I have two more of these, and still, just because the whiteboard is so crucial, but despite how much I love it, I hate putting it up. So like today, I don't have to. So it's like everything is so much easier. Wow.
Big into music. It's my first love, and I've definitely shaded away because of everything else. But it's like music will calm you down. Like playing it, you fade, and it's like for sure the answer to the whole thing.
Right? So we can all draw a stick figure and make it kooky, maybe some weird eyes, some ears on it, something like that. So I want you to draw me as a stick figure, and I will play this guitar while you're doing it. That way you have a stick figure at least with a guitar. So give me some ears, maybe a unicorn horn, maybe a tail. So whatever you can. So try to draw me real quick. Draw me with a new shirt on, maybe a blazer, a bow tie, a big nose, like a clown nose, an afro, a weirder hat, anything. Just kind of get the hands loosened up before we start diving into doing some more art. Some artwork home, but whatever you leave, I would put on my wall. I would greatly, thank you so much, Timmy. Give me a high five. This is the starting of the summer, so we got 6, 10, 11, 12, 13 workshops in almost 14 or 13 days. So it's going to be, now is the endurance building time. So I have to, especially the breakdown. Today is a lucky day, so I can kind of chill and take the breakdown slowly. But now that I got the workshops back to back, then I got to drive. You got to refuel yourself up first. Nutrition is obviously a very big one. So that's one of the things I'm learning is pack lunches, kind of getting the food in between the workshops. Thank you so much. And you know, it's cool to just roll up in something that's just bulky and big, shows them that you mean business, here to create some stuff. Stock manager at Forever 21 in Chicago. And one of my other, this isn't really testing the skills, but one of my other skills is Tetrising things together and packing them, because I had to do that with thousands of boxes of clothing. One of the other side projects I'm doing is cleaning out my mom's basement. So the word project is definitely required. It was full and now it is almost empty. So now I'm very big into Snoopy. So is people who are big into that, and Garfield, they collect everything. So, as well as just the overall collection of stuff over the years, clothing, my first grade drawings that are not something that I want the world to see. But ironically enough, one of the things that we did find was like my first short story, which was made with pictures, so technically a comic, and it was about how cheetahs got spots. Now, outside of that, I don't remember much of it. But seeing that was like, all right, that's kind of cool and a little bit rewarding. So that's why I've been making frequent stops to all kinds of donation centers. It's just the Goodwill is the one that's open today. But I do have to put some air in my tires. This car is also taking us like all the way across the country twice, including all of the workshops.
But before that, we did the road trip in like 2017, and we did it in this car, driving everywhere. A little bit more with the idea of calling them like comic book variety shows, because I'm already juggling, and I'm already bringing in the unicycle, and soon it will be this, and soon it will be that. So I mess with the idea, but then another thing is with like descriptions, you don't want to have too many words. So I've learned Park Districts don't like that because they put everything on a brochure. So they love any name that is 2 words less. They would be like, well, how many days is it? And of course I was like, well, 1 day. And the more they kind of asked that question, it started me piquing my interest. Like, all right, well, multiple. Because you get, with comics, I could spend a whole day talking about paneling. I could spend a whole day talking about words. I could spend a whole day talking about stringed instruments for one reason or another. And now it's been a hit. Now Barrington, not only do they do it, but they're doing it 2 5-week programs for 2 different ages. So that's 20 different workshops. And that's Barrington, as well as Geneva is doing the exact same thing. Greendale, Wisconsin. So now I know that I'm going to, for instance, Rockford right now beforehand, so I can always plan around that, whereas it used to be I'm in a different place every time and I'm like scrambling for one workshop from this one town. So it stabilizes a lot, and now we have more workshops scheduled than I've actually done right now.
We kind of got a little bit behind because we got so many people. So those are good problems. My name is Jerry Moffitt, and I'm part of an art group called Do Art Productions. And we try to get anybody, including people who don't do art, we try to get them into doing art. Because we show that you have infinite amount of creativity in you. We all are unique, we all have our own interests, even if we go to the same school, even if we live in the same house, even if we're siblings, all of that. But we all have our own uniqueness that makes us us. So we will be back in 2 weeks, so remember to keep up. We keep having fun creating comics. I will have more surprises at every workshop. So this time you saw a ukulele, there will definitely be something you've never seen before at the next one.
Well, I always, especially with these 5-week programs, the anticipation building just gives so much, especially when it's something so odd, like
A banjo! Oh! It's not a banjo.
I kept referring to the dulcimer. Like I kept telling him at the beginning, and he was like, finally, he's like, all right, man, I gotta see.
You guys gotta keep that secret. You didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing, all right? You forgot the name. I know you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't actually necessarily see an opportunity where I could get the dulcimer in, and I wanted to kind of make sure I got to making the comic, because sometimes I don't get the chance to make a comic at a comic book workshop. Like for instance, none of them have seen the unicycle yet, so I've been doing that on purpose. So I'm saving that one there for the last day. With the unicycle, it's usually like the showstopper. Yeah, it's always the small towns that actually get a lot.
That's what you said.
And I'm like, I mean, I've been. This is my second time to Forreston, so I am not too aware of the town and the community yet. But
They're waiting for the circus to come to town.
a lot of it is just to keep the deception up as high as possible. So sometimes it's hard, but I try to give hints to the unicycle and or the variety of things that might happen. But it's best if they don't see it beforehand, and it kind of elevates that moment. Because it's kind of what I've been learning is like introducing the juggling and introducing the unicycle and trying to bring as much electricity and aesthetic to that moment when it happens. Like try to land a joke when it happens, or make them look one way so when they come back they can kind of see something happening. But elevating that moment of whatever it be, fun or experience, so they can kind of, it's like hitting the 4 peaks of the workshop, where SpongeBob is one of them. As soon as I draw SpongeBob in like a crazy way, you can see like the smile and the lights light up in the eyes a little bit more. They're starting to think a little bit more creatively now because of the relatability of the character. So it's just like a magician. A magician never shows his secrets. So I try to do that.
So, you're gonna draw whatever animal it is. But on a unicycle.
Hey.
I think that was a bag from
Okay, so what animal are we gonna be? Let's see. Llama, turtle, axolotl, otter, duck, on a what?
Unicycle.
All right, let's see it.
This one's a program in Barrington right now, so it's day 3 of a 5-day. This will be, as far as the 5-week one, this will be number 4 or 5. So it's been interesting to kind of see, to get ourselves entrenched in the specific community, because we usually have to reach out to the schools, the library, and hand out flyers in the area. But like now we're going to Barrington, so in Barrington we got plenty of signups, and then on Saturday this week I'm in Oswego Park District, and there we got more than, we had to open up signups even more so because we got so many. And in Woodstock we haven't gotten enough yet, but we're about to go there and do a bunch of promotion, drawing booths, and handing out flyers and participating in different park district events, so we can kind of promote our name and promote our face and what we're trying to do yet, but we're still promoting. So it's just like the learning curve of marketing ourselves, how to market ourselves, how to explain what we're doing, why we're doing, and all of that, but to kind of get that message and that kind of that vision to the people who want to participate, whether it be parents or the kids or the park district programmers. So it's been a lot learning curve the whole time, but it's very fun. So we're very appreciative of this one in Barrington, and we have a lot more scheduled for the summer and stretching into the fall. In the park districts, they definitely give us a little bit more stability during the spring and the fall, when the libraries, they look much more towards the summertime.
Don't lean as hard as I can.
All right, I'm almost getting it. You got yours, Samuel?
Yes.
But it's a small group of kids at this one, but they're all very good at art in their own way, so it's like cool to see them come up with comics.
Squibbity squabbity squoo.
No, remember, it's this?
So it's a very interesting class, and it's always fun to get the more intimate classes where they still feel comfortable to kind of explore and express their creativity in front and with everybody. So that's what last week one was, the one I was just mentioning. That one, it seemed to be a great one where they all kind of, everyone threw out an idea, it somehow all meshed together despite how odd they were.
Try to do both. Try to do both. Can you capture the oomph, Roland? Oh my God! Look at that axolotl. That's amazing.
At the Park District program, you're seeing the same kids, and so now it becomes much more of this lesson-based. So they're more familiar with you. They're understanding you more as a teacher. So it doesn't have that much more performance-based aspect to it, where I'm always like, I don't bring out the unicycle until the 3rd or 4th week. With the programming, it gets a little bit more focused, which I definitely like, because it allows me to get a little bit more into comic booking, which I love. But I also love the performance aspect and being the much more of the clown, or the energy, the high energy, high octane charisma, and I enjoy that a lot as well. And you don't get that as much at the programming. You get that much more at the one-time events. It's always nice to see the parents enjoy the setup, especially the banner setup, putting so much work into it. Maybe my fastest breakdown time yet. But a lot of that is getting through this summer and seeing how the stamina is and how we're all doing. Because I got Virginia, West Virginia, a bunch of Iowa, and then Indiana, all over. So the summer is going to be kind of just getting through it, seeing how we're doing, and adjusting and making the corrections where needed.
Hello. Take a seat wherever you like.
Are you here for the workshop? Well then come on down. We've got a pencil and paper all ready for you. So, how are we warming up for the workshop?
Aren't you wacky?
Wacky.
Okay, but I need a little bit more energy than that. How are we drawing me? Yeah!
Doing workshops kind of like with any art form, so much of like what gets learned almost kind of gets internalized in the course of doing it. Whereas explaining it almost becomes its own separate art form.
To get started, thank you all for coming.
But really, like the biggest thing I learned is that I can do it. This was not necessarily something that I had thought that I could do before I like stepped up in front of a crowd and really kind of embraced it that way.
Okay, and now we are going to talk about one of my favorite things, one of my favorite ways to make art, comics. So let's start out with what are comics?
Kind of learning a lot more about how to like invite people in to kind of like contribute their creativity.
Now I'm going to change this entire one line. Who thinks I can do it? Who still doubts me?
Creativity. Because I think when I first started, I think the expectation in my head was, oh no, I have to have like the whole speech laid out and this whole format, and I'm gonna have to like all these things that I'm teaching, when what you're really doing is kind of inviting people in, kind of bringing your energy into the event and then giving them space to make something wacky and creative of their own.
Tell me what I should put in these eyes. Yes, Draven.
Insanely crazy, like.
Okay, oh, that's not a bad idea. So what should I put in the eyes that will make you get the emotion of insanely crazy?
Fire.
Fire. A skull.
Make the pupils dilated.
Okay.
Plankton.
So plankton, a skull,
A heart.
fire, and a heart. That would be insanely crazy. So I want you guys to make eyes on your piece of paper.
The kids do not necessarily have that like inner critic about, oh man, this isn't good. You know, that the eye's wrong and the anatomy isn't right. And I don't know anything about anatomy, but I know that this looks wrong. And so because kids don't necessarily have that same inner critic, it kind of allows you to kind of, like I was saying, you're facilitating their drawing. And especially like kids, even like relatively shy kids will just get up, and once they kind of have permission, they will like add their drawing of Sonic the Hedgehog, their drawing of Godzilla, or even like their interpretation of the funny thing that somebody wrote down, which is something that we do in our acting workshops. And so it's really more just about kind of like giving them that permission to be wacky in a creative setting.
All right, and we've got, who's this again? SpongeBob.
I'm in full workshop swing. I've lost count of how many I've done this summer. I've definitely improved areas here and there. Not necessarily improved the exercise, but just improved delivery, my confidence, my performance persona. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Our first one is at the Peru, Illinois Public Library. That's about an hour away. And then we have, right after that, the Fond du Lac Library in East Peoria, which
Turn right, then your destination will be on the right.
another hour from Peru, but sort of on the way. But we have two 2-hour comic book workshops, 1 2-hour in Peru. That's my first time being there.
So guitar today, but no unicycle?
It's hidden.
Oh, really?
Yeah, gotta hide it. The big reveal.
So let's go. If I ate a spicy meatball and I got fire in my eyes, what else is happening?
The ears are just.
Smoke coming out of the ears. Steam is coming out of the ears, right?
I always want to get them to do a pose. So luckily he did the lobster one, but because of that, he's gonna get time to get that unicycle in. So
You like buff lobster? Or what type of pose should he do?
Like a regular lobster where it's like on.
What type of pose should he do?
Maybe like a handstand.
I have a feeling that it had to do with like the room, since the room was kind of narrow. It kind of channeled the energy closer to each other. And the couple times that I've done it like that, not that it goes bad or anything, but it just seems to have a different energy. The kids kind of are, they can look in different directions, their attention is off of me a little bit. I had the Peru one scheduled, and then I reached out to Fond du Lac, who, now that they've had plenty of workshops with me, I just asked if it was a possibility, and they said, yeah, it definitely would work out, because we were trying to find a day for them during the summer already, and then Fond du Lac, usually I can pull a pretty big crowd there because I've been there, this will be my 6th time.
Welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh, look at your shirt. Holy cow, that's amazing.
Usually I do 2 workshops every time I go there, but today I wouldn't be able to get there till 4:30, so we're just doing the one for all ages, so it should be a fairly big crowd.
Ohio is the center of it all. I've heard that 1,000 times. I love it.
That was a medium group.
That was a medium group.
Yeah. And it's almost as simple as there's more voices, so.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know where you guys are from, but that is amazing.
When I asked for, what's your favorite cartoon? SpongeBob, swear to Pokemon, da da da. Whereas in a small group, it's like, what's your favorite? Come on, guys. I know you guys have favorite cartoons. Come on, I'm gonna choose on somebody randomly. And that difference is huge because, like, I gotta expend some energy right there now to kind of get you to come at it. So when it's like that and it's downhill, or what emotion do you see? Oh, I see da 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 da, and I almost have to stop them. It can get speed bump. It can become obstacle-like in the sense of I gotta stop them. You know, everybody just breathe through our nose.
Let's raise our hands. As you can see, we have everybody else, so I'm trying to hear you all.
And obviously some of that is futile and only lasts for so long, but it's more of the form. But those ones are just so much faster. I have more confidence in it because I know once I do the pose drawing, they're all gonna love it. I know once I put the SpongeBob outfit, they're all gonna love it.
Loud House, Ren and Stimpy. Okay, you're after my heart. Nicely done. It's a portal gun that takes me back to early 2000s Orange Nickelodeon.
And I knew if I had the unicycle in the back pocket, if it ever kind of got too stale, I could have just busted that out.
Do a unicycle again.
I know it was too much energy. I wouldn't have been able to make a comic because I could tell if I brought the unicycle, that would have been about 15 more minutes because that was a crowd that was really gonna like it.
It was lost in
Yeah, and then I would have never been able to pull him back down for a comic. So I've been just kind of learning those different energy levels of which direction to take it, when to take it that way. Because I just, when I was in Iowa, they were like almost always 35 or more, or 35 on the line, or 30 there. And just to try to see everybody's drawing of me, you know, like draw, because everybody wants to show it, so it's, even that takes up time. So it's, they just go downhill. This is a downhill day with like that. And if there's multiple like that, then, you know, it just, you fly through 4 hours. One time I did three workshops back to back to back at Fond du Lac. One of the first times I was there, I did 3, and it was like that. It just felt like it was 5 hours just downhill sloping, and I think I barely even took a break in between each one. So I prefer them like that because it kind of keeps me out of my mind. It keeps me in performance mode. But when I get a break, it's like, and then you're like thinking about the time. I got 5 more minutes. I got 3 more minutes. I got 2.5 more minutes. But when it's downhill like that, it's like, next thing you know, it's 8:30 p.m. and we're driving home or whatever it is. So I definitely like those ones, and it gives me more energy for the ride home. If it's like a slow one and it's hard, it could be a hard ride home afterwards because you used everything you had to pull the energy out of them.
That you're saying that, and it didn't start raining. When it's hot, it absorbs all that moisture up there. I want a smooth ride home. I don't want no lightning. And we ride home next to the river, see.
Continue on East Pike Road for 1.5 miles. In half a
Today
mile, turn left onto South Central.
Is Greendale, Wisconsin. So they have a Norman Rockwell statue up there. Because I just recently read a biography of Norman Rockwell. I was like, what does this have to do with Rockwell? And they have it up there because they said that someone said that the town looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. And then I went for a walk afterwards after I saw this, and I have to say, it does kind of look like a New England town because they have it all tight together. We got Chet a new one. It's a blue one, so I couldn't get blue. That was the one I wanted. However, it does fit the whiteboard, so that's why I got it. It just happens to be a day that we don't need it. We'll be using it later when we go to Darien. The first one is a park district, day 2 of a 3-day program. I'm going to be elaborating a little bit more on comics. Okay, so what should our comic be about?
I'm okay. That end.
Nice. So you even brought I'm okay, like the hesitant of the of understanding and blowing a hole into the paper and then climbing out the hole into the real world.
Yeah.
That might be what we have to make tomorrow. Like the other thing tries to come into the real world.
I haven't done the unicycle at the first one yet, so they don't know that I unicycle yet.
He's having a hard enough time riding the unicycle, let alone juggling?
I'm very excited about this one in the park district because today we're going to be doing the whiteboard, so we all have individual whiteboards, and we're going to be doing some drawing like that, mixing it up a little bit.
I am I poo.
That's the phone. I poo.
Yay! I have a potato phone. You need a pear phone for $2.99. Okay, so the pear phone joke has gone to an iPoo, to a potato phone, to selling the pear phones for $2.99, which is a steal. Dude! Everybody clap and laugh together one last time! Thank you guys, thank you. Now, are you gonna go home and do more art later?
Yes! No! I'm going to an eye doctor, then I'm going to a museum, then I'm going back to my house, then I'm going to be lazy.
And then can you do some art? Maybe. All right, I'll take a maybe.
Oh man, I'm hungry. I need a granola bar.
Boom. It was just one of those kind of blessing schedules where Darien, they had it open. They were willing to line up with a Wisconsin workshop I already had.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-41, I-43 South.
So I already had Greendale lined up and they wanted to tag along on the way back. And it just happens to be on the direct way back. So very few times does it happen like that. So it's very nice when it happens like a day like today. Or the one in Darien where I kind of do the more normal 2-hour workshop where we have our set list, so to speak.
Everybody get a blank sheet of paper or a blank spot of paper. I need your own SpongeBobs, like a Buff Bob or a SpongeBob Ross or a Ballerina Bob, a Robot Bob, a something Bob. But I really want to get into your own personal aspect here. What's up? We are at Bettendorf, Iowa for the first of our free comic book day. We are starting in Bettendorf, then we're moving down to Fond du Lac over in Peoria. Chet is over at, where is he? Park Forest. He's at Park Forest today. So we have 3 workshops today. We're gonna be giving out our free comic today, an adventure into comics with Mr. Jerry. And we're gonna be bouncing around 2 states and hitting as many people as we can. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're bringing it back this year for 2025 and we're gonna be making some comics. Back at Free Comic Book Day. So that's why we're excited with the new comic though too. So it's giving us the reason to kind of come do it, make the day again. And this one's about making comics. So that's gonna be, it's a great addition where they can take the workshop home with them and read it again.
Yeah, stretching is a big part of a double workshop day. I've been driving, and then this summer we got 16 states from North Carolina to Wyoming. So that's gonna be a fun drive.
Welcome. Well, let's jump right into it because we have a lot to cover.
Now, do we all know what a speech bubble is?
We want the same eyes in every panel. What is the reader gonna think is happening, right?
We're gonna be making a comic book.
Has anybody here made a comic before? Okay. Come on down, compose.
Draw me weird.
Super weird, exactly. Thank you for adding the super. That's the key. Ballerina Bob? Battle Mac Bob?
This is the first speech bubble. This is a good one to come in on Free Comic Book Day.
I love Cat Comic. Cat Comic. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Check us out at doartproductions.org. But otherwise, are you gonna go home and do some more art later? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys, thank you. Make sure you take your comics with you, get some stickers and everything. Thank you guys so much. Do some more art later. What can you put inside or at the ending? How can you end your comic to bring it all together? So we have the to be continued.